What's up, YouTube? Rogue Scrubs coming at you here with a Harpie Lady Deck Profile. This is the profile promised with the release of FLOD and the Greatfly new Wind Link monster, which is absolutely phenomenal in this deck. It really helps with the Saryuja combo, which I'll show you guys, which is just essentially a Chandler and any Harpie card, and allows you to really extend and do a lot of crazy stuff. This is a deck I like a lot, so I wanted to go over that as well. Next up, I also said Light Sworns is coming. I know all I get is comments. Every time I look at a notification, it's when is that update coming? When is the Light Sworns coming? It's the next profile, I promise. Light Sworns will be next. So, without further ado, let's get into the Harpies, and then like I said, the budget Light Sworn deck with no brilliance and everything like that will be coming up next. It's the most popular video on the channel with 33,000 views. Yeah. So let's talk about Harpies now, though. So Harpie Queen, we play 3 of her. She searches your field spell. Absolutely awesome. Need to do. 3 Chandler. This is the best Harpie out of the entire deck, as it's your Summoner Monk for Harpies. You pitch any Harpie card and special summon a Harpie monster from your deck. She also allows you to do your rank 7 combo, which gets you into the number 42, and then a bunch of tokens and makes saryuja, which is really, really cool. Next up, we play 3 Harpist. This is a searcher at the end of the turn. If she was discarded, you add a 1500 less attack wing beast monster from your deck to your hand. Very good. Need to play 3 because this is how you're going to search your Chandler. Essentially, if you don't draw an opening hand, you can get it through this way, through her. Next up, I play 2 Harpie Lady, and now I know what you might be thinking. This is a Harpie Lady deck profile, and you're only playing 2 cards with the actual permanent name Harpie Lady. Well, the problem is that the permanent name Harpie Lady monsters are terrible. They're only good for Elegant Egotist, and that's the reason why I only play 2, because realistically, most of the time, this is just going to be a fodder card, so it's another card that's a Harpie card, and other than that, and just for a couple of points of damage with the Elegant Egotist. But other than that, you really don't need Harpie Ladies in the deck. If anything, this deck would need a new card that has Harpie Lady as its permanent name, and that would hopefully give it a boost of support. But yeah, so only 2 of this. I think this is a good number. I don't think you want to play any more of this card. Next up, I play 1 Dancer. I know a lot of people play 3 if they play the Divine Wind of the Mist Valley version. I do not. I don't like the Divine Wind of the Mist Valley version because if it gets Ghost Ogred or if the Divine Wind goes away, you just kind of have 3 dead Dancers in your deck that don't really do anything other than with that combo. And it also makes you play 3 Terraforming, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's just not my preference in the deck. So I only play 1 just to get the extra pop off the hunting ground. It also gets a monster in attack mode because this Chandler does summon in defense mode, so this allows you to bounce and then normal summon 1 in attack and go for a game. Next up, 1 Pet Dragon. You should play 2 of this card. It is the Garnet of the deck, I will admit, but I believe, and that's one of the reasons why I think you should play 2, because if you draw it, then you can't play the level 7, or you can't do the rank 7 play. However, I don't own a 2nd dragon, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, wow, he owns, ulti first dead queens, but he doesn't own a 2nd dragon. I'm aware. It's crazy. Couldn't find one. Nobody seemed to have one. It's not really a card anybody keeps around. So, yeah, but I would play 2 if you have to. Next up, 3 Summoner Monk. This card's phenomenal. It grabs your Chandler out of the deck, makes it more consistent. Also, with Hysteric Sign, you search 3, which is absolutely amazing. You can do the Saryuja combo with this. Just makes it really a little more consistent. And as you guys know, this is probably one of my favorite cards in the game, as I play it in almost every one of my decks right now. So yeah, 3 of that. Next up, 2 Ghost Ogre. This is it for hand traps. I didn't feel it was necessary with the Harpie trap, because that's kind of a hand trap in itself. And yeah, so I just played 2 of this, and this worked out pretty well. Hit some stuff that was necessary, but other than that, yeah, I wouldn't change the hand trap ratio. I think this is a good amount. Next up for the spells, I play 3 Hysteric Sign. Really no question here. You activate it, search Elegant Egotist. Then if it dies, you get to add 3 Harpies during the end phase. You can only do 1 effect per turn, though. But absolutely phenomenal. Next up, I play 3 Harpie Hunting Ground. Technically, you're never actually going to play this card probably more than once in a game. However, having 3 is good because it's a spell for Summoner Monk to ditch. It's also a Harpie card for Chandler ditch, and it's searchable off Queen. So those kind of 3 things just make it a really good synergy card for the deck that you would like to play in multiples. So that's why I play 3. Next up, I play 2 Gall by the Grave. I like this card a lot. I think I was hoping it would see more play in competitive. I don't know how many people were playing it at the regionals and that kind of stuff. Since Pendulum Magician in their modern deck, I don't need to know if they have the space for it. But I like this card. I think it's great, especially because I'm playing Summoner Monk in so many of my decks that I really want to be able to back it up and not get hand trapped or ashed and lose all my value on turn 1. So yeah, 2 of those. Next up, 1 Elegant Egotist. You don't need more than 1, as I was explaining. And then Soul Charge and Reborn. Yeah, and that's it for the spells. Like I said, if you want to play the Divine Wind of the Misvalue version, feel free, go right ahead. It's not bad, it's just not my preference. Next up, for the traps, 3 Harpie's Featherstorm. This is probably one of the reasons I wanted to do this deck profile, because I love this card. This card is an actual hand trap. If you control a Harpie monster, you can activate it from your hand. If you don't know what it does, it negates the effects of negates all activated effects of your opponent's monsters until the end of the turn. So this card is really, really good because it's essentially just kind of like a skill drain from your hand, and you can activate during either player's turn if you control a Harpie monster. So let's say you go Chandler and you pitch, and then your opponent chains Ghost Ogre or Ash. This is equivalent to Call by the Grave because you negate the activated effect, and then the Ash or the Ghost Ogre or whatever they activate just fizzles, which is just really, really good. And it's also searchable off Hysteric Sign, so it's like is a kind of a deck you want to go first with, and then set up your board and put a Harpie monster, and then just activate this from your hand, and then your opponent really can't do anything because you kind of just sit there stuck, and it's just a really, really strong card, and I like it a lot. So yeah, 3 of those definitely. It's also a Harpie card for Chandler. Discard if it's mandatory. Next, I play 2 anti-spell. Harpie's Hunting Ground. Obviously, this card makes perfect sense in this deck because they have to set their spells, and then you just pop them, which means they're just never going to activate them. Also, a blowout card against Pendulum Magician. So yeah, 2 of those is really, really nice in this deck. Next up, I played Magical Hats and Hysteric Party. I don't own a second Hysteric Party, I know. Sorry, I don't have some of the cards for this deck, but I would play 2 Hysteric Parties and not a Magical Hats. It was just kind of a last-minute tech because I couldn't find a Hysteric Party. Could have sworn I own 3 of them, don't know where they are. But yeah, this card allows you just to recur. This card I never drew, so it didn't matter. But yeah, just play 2 of this because this card's just absolutely insane. It's your Call of the Haunted for the deck and allows you to play the game even after you've used a lot of your resources, because summoning 5 Harpie Ladies is just ridiculous. And then lastly, I just play the Solemn. 4. Don't play the 3rd strike, just 2. Warning and a Judgment. Yeah. So that's it for the main deck. On to the extra deck. Tokens. So I play 1 Link Spider, 2 Greatfly, the new Wind Link, and then 1 Underclock Taker and 1 Proxy Dragon. Then lastly, we just play the Saryuja. So essentially, all these cards just go into the Saryuja. They're not actually ever really made for anything else other than Greatfly, because Greatfly is actually just a decent Wind Link and allows you to have 2 zones. Other than that, none of the other ones are really ever going to be used other than just for the Saryuja combo, but they're there anyway. So yeah, I'll show you guys that combo in this video as well. Then for my rank 4s, I play 1 Lightning Chidori, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Baguska, the Utopia package, and that's it for the rank 4s. This extra deck is actually only 14 cards because I was missing an Ice Beast Seraphine. Again, I apologize. Ice Beast Seraphine should definitely be in this deck. It's a very good rank 4, and that's, I think, the best 15th slot. You can also play, I guess, a 3rd Wind Link if you would like. Next up for the rank 7s, I play 1 Big Eye, 1 Draco Sack, and 1 number 42. This is necessary for your combo. This is an amazing card. I won a game because I was able to steal a big Synchro and smack for game. And Draco Sack, I never made it. I think this card can honestly be taken out for another rank 4 just so you have a little more versatility, because this card's really, really outdated and kind of unnecessary. But yeah, it was in there anyway just because you can make the rank 7s. And like I said, you definitely want to play 2 Harpie's Pet Dragons if you can, because I think that's good. Then on to the side deck. I played the Artifact Engine because this is just a great side, and especially when people don't expect it, it can really harm your opponent, especially with the Scythe, Moral Tox, and Lancias. So yeah, just 2 of each of the best artifacts, and then 3 Sanctum. I didn't play any additions, it wasn't necessary, but yeah, the Artifact Engine definitely came in handy. But yeah, so 1 strike. This isn't necessary, I just had to fill out the side deck. In fact, Red Reboot, this is a card I wish I had 3 of in the side deck. I highly recommend, if you do have 3 of this card, that you play 3 of it, because it's absolutely insane in Harpies. Essentially, you force them to set their trap, and then you just pop it, which is just fantastic. This card's insane. I think it's going to be played in a lot of decks, and I'm so happy that it was a super. Nobody was getting rid of theirs, though, because they wanted to all play theirs at the sneak peek, so I was only able to have the 1 in the side. Next up, 2 of the Wind Kaiju, just to clear boards. You want to play the Wind one, just so you can potentially get it back off the Wind Link. And then lastly, I played a Watch Cat in the side, just to try it out. I try it out every once in a while. It came up a couple times. Essentially what it does is if you have no monsters, you special summon it, and then during the end phase you can banish it and set a continuous spell from your deck. So this allows you to kind of grab your Hysteric Sign and accumulate value. So like the optimal play is like special summon this, and then make a rank 4 like Tornado Dragon, banish this, and then end phase Hysteric Sign, pop, and search off Tornado Dragon. But yeah, so it was a neat card. Don't know if I want it in the main deck or not yet. I just kind of tested it out because it is new for Sneak. But yeah, it's there anyway. Alright, yeah, so that's the deck profile, guys. I'll show you the quick combo. It just requires a Chandler and any card. Let's say it's Harpist, so you get another card during the end phase. You summon your Chandler, you activate the effect, you grab your Harpie's Pet Dragon, you overlay the 2, and you're going to make your number 42 Galaxy Eyes Tomahawk. You're going to activate the effect, you're going to grab all 5 of your tokens, link 1 token and the Galaxy Eyes Tomahawk to summon your Greatfly, because they're 2 wind monsters. You'll link another token to summon a Link Spider, and then you're link 2 more tokens to summon a Proxy Dragon. So now you have a Greatfly, a Link Spider, and a Proxy Dragon, and 1 last token. You link with all 4, you get a 4-card Saryuja. And then you activate its effect, and you do a bunch of stuff. It's a really good play because it just allows you to get a big monster on board. You tune your hand to hopefully dig for that Hysteric Sign, amongst other things. This combo is also a lot better if you open Summoner Monk Hysteric Sign, because then the combo is just insane. You already have one of your names. You'll have the Summoner Monk, the Greatfly, and you won't need to make the Proxy Dragon, and then you'll still have a token. So you can use that token to make like a Saryuja and a Greatfly, and then you want to special summon a Harpie, and because during the end phase off Hysteric Sign, you'll search 3 cards. Generally, the 3 you're going to want to search off Hysteric Sign is going to be a Chandler, a Harpist, and a Harpie's Feather Storm. So that way you have interruption on your opponent's turn, and then you can use Saryuja's effect to special summon. And then you can activate this on your opponent's turn, and they're kind of stunned because it's a skill drain. So yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the Harpie Lady Deck Profile. Like I said, Lightsworn's coming up next. I apologize for the lateness and not uploading as frequently. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Roscripts out.